What a start to the Super 8. Sri Lanka versus New Zealand going down to a super over. We saw so many heroes, so many moments of excitement. But it just comes down to certain moments in the game which really turned it around. You could also argue that the Sri Lankans did choke after that start and not getting home, but only coming off with a tie. But on the other hand, at the break, New Zealand would have been the happier team. So all in all, there were some good performances, certain moments players would like to forget, but plenty of opportunity and areas that each team can improve, especially Sri Lanka, because they were quite sloppy in the field and we're not used to seeing that. New Zealand first. Won the toss, they batted well, they got off to a sound start. Foundation was good. Martin Guptill actually upped the rate, but Rob Nicol, what he did was rotate the strike well. From then on, it was all about accumulating. Brendan McCullum's to count, Ross Taylor, a big score was on the cards. The pitch was really good. It was on the slower side, but there was no real turn or threat for the batsmen, so there was going to be lots of runs. New Zealand running well and putting pressure on the Sri Lankans. We saw lots of knock-ons and wild throws. Not used to seeing that from Sri Lanka, though, an area they'll need to improve. The positives for Sri Lanka in the field were Akila Dhananjaya's form with the ball. Though he got hit and may come out with a metal cheek, he did so show signs of being a great spinner. Good loop, got the ball to dip, not afraid to use his variations, bowls with great control, and of course he'll grow and become a... Ajantha Mendis's form was a concern, though. We didn't see that ball zip through. Could be his injury could be a reason, because he had come into the game after having an injection and was not 100%. So there's an area that Sri Lanka can work on. And also Lasith Malinga is not yet his usual self. Though he bowled a very good super over, held his nerve. All in all, in the first round games too, I thought there were areas that he can improve. 175 was always going to be a stiff target, but after the start that Sri Lanka got, I mean, they should never have been tying that, but coasting home easily. Sangakkara's run out was the turning point. From then on, a little cautious Sri Lanka. Few too many dot balls, and in T20 cricket, you see that rate rise so rapidly. But what they did well was not lose wickets and were able to fight till the end. New Zealand hanging in there, bowling wicket to wicket and making life difficult and trying to get the pressure to tell. Dilshan outstanding. Now the key moments for me were the last 3-4 overs of the New Zealand innings, bowled by Chris Saker and Lasith Malinga. I thought they bowled really well there and contained New Zealand to 174. They missed out on a few runs. Then again, when it came to the first over, they started with Nathan McCullum. It wasn't a pitch that was turning, so they didn't need to do that. The hard ball, the pitch had some extra bounce, and if there is a weakness in Sri Lankan batting, you could say handling that short one. So use those taller bowlers to get that extra bounce and see if they can get a wicket. That should have been the way forward. But the spin played into the hands of the Sri Lankans. 17 off the first over gave Sri Lanka the belief and the momentum to go after that target. Tim Southee was outstanding with his Yorkers in the end, bowling round the wicket, creating a very difficult angle for the right-handers to get through. 11 Yorkers he did bowl. The Thirimana did well to get one away for 4 though, but it was brave of Southee to bowl that short ball in that last ball, because he knew Thirimana will be lining up for that scoop, changed it around and hence was able to bring out the run out. So it was outstanding stuff from him, and mention must be made. In the super over, we didn't see a boundary at all. Great bowling, batsmen under tremendous pressure to try and hit a boundary or get more runs, but with hard hands it was not to be. The turning point here was though the catch Dilshan took of Guptill on the boundary line. It was going for 6, he didn't have room to move either. Held his nerve, balanced, waited for it and snapped it up. Game changer. Tilakaratne Dilshan had an outstanding game, and his performance under pressure. Entertained were the crowd and everyone there. Nervousness, tension, you feel the emotions. There were ups and downs. The game seesawed from both ends and you wouldn't see a better game. Sri Lanka will be happy they came away with the 2 points and do know which areas to work on. So the good news is they've got a win, but there are areas to work on, and if they can up that, they will be very, very hard to beat in the tournament going forward.